Hey Tribe and YouTube fam, welcome back. In this video, I'm kind of going to set the introduction here, but we're going to start to kind of going through The Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Now, we're actually going through the book. Now, before we kind of dive into this video, let me explain a couple of things. For one, I got my collagen here. So this is going to be a one-take wonder, baby, because how this is going to kind of roll out is that, for one, I wasn't going to do these videos because I know like a lot of this stuff is just regurgitated information, especially on YouTube across all social media. This stuff is overdone, you know what I mean? And I just mean like, so many people just kind of keep on doing the same information. But the only reason I'm kind of filming this video is because I've been through these books many times before, but I myself felt like I was kind of getting away from my own personal study. So I was actually going through these books myself, reading through them again myself. We just covered The Power of Awareness. I ended up changing my mind and I started filming while I was going through The Power of Awareness. So now I'm going through The Feeling is a Secret myself. And so I just, it's just an opportune time to I'll just film as I'm going through it. And I will explain things as we go along because sometimes The Feeling is a Secret isn't as bad. I think The Feeling is a Secret. Neville Goddard wrote a little bit more better than he did in The Power of Awareness. But other than that, part two to this is what we're do is each chapter, it's a little bit longer, but each chapter is about 9 to 10 pages. It's pretty simple. It's a simple read, a lot of detail, but a simple read as far as reading through it. Then I'll do a video on the whole chapter, but then I don't know yet, I might grab apart and do separate videos on maybe whole paragraphs to kind of dissect maybe a phrase Neville Goddard says. And I feel like maybe this needs to be explained in more detail to help you guys out. We'll dissect that in a separate video as well. But other than that, let's dive into The Feeling is a Secret by Neville Goddard. And it's a short little book. It's written back in 1944. It's only 40 pages. And we're going to go into chapter 1, which is the law and the promise. I'll get the highlighter working here in a second. We don't need to do an introduction or the forward. Let's get right to the meat and potatoes here. And let me get the highlighter going, getting that ready. And we'll get rocking and rolling here. And from time to time, this is my collagen drink I drink in the morning. So from time to time, you're going to see me drink something. I might make you hungry in this video or thirsty in this video. So let's get rocking and let's jump into this. Chapter 1, the law and its operation. Like I said, it's only about 9 or 10 pages. So let's get rocking here. And before I forget, and let me get my glasses on so I can read and see. The world and all within it is man's conditioned, conscious, objectified. So what does Neville Goddard mean really fast with objectified? Remember, your objective world is your 3D world. That's what you see in your visible world. That's what's happening to you right now. That's your objective mind. Now your objective mind, your conscious mind is attached to your objective world. Okay. So what Neville Goddard is saying is a man's conditioned consciousness objectified. All it's saying is what you believe to be true for you and your consciousness is coming to you in your visible world. So no matter, listen to it this way, no matter if you like what's going on or don't like what's going on, you have created it. It's coming from your consciousness. Okay, you created it. Okay, so let's continue. Consciousness is the cause as well as a substance of the entire world. It is the consciousness that we must turn if we would discover the secret of creation. Knowledge of the law of consciousness, and I might do a separate video on the law of consciousness, but let's keep on going. Knowledge of the law of consciousness and the method of operating this law will enable you to accomplish all you desire in life. Armed with a working knowledge of this law, you can build and maintain an ideal world. Consciousness is the one and only reality, not figuratively, but actually. This reality may, for the sake of clarity, be likened unto a stream which is divided into two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. Okay, now here Neville Goddard is talking about the subconscious and the conscious mind. What is the difference between the two? Okay, because there is a major difference. Okay, I won't explain it yet. Let's see what how Neville Goddard explains this. In order to intelligently operate the law of consciousness, it is necessary to understand the relationship between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Let me grab a different color here. Now, the conscious is personal and selective. Now, remember, your conscious mind is your waking mind. Your conscious mind is what's gearing your life when you're awake. Once you wake up, your conscious mind wakes up, and that's what basically, this is your thinking mind, your analytical mind, your overthinking, your over-analytical. You're trying to figure out what's good and bad for you, what's the best choice. That's all coming from your conscious mind. So the conscious is personal and selective. The subconscious, listen to this. The subconscious mind is impersonal and non-selective. Okay, now what does he mean by this? Your conscious mind is very personal and selective. What is meaning your conscious mind, you're trying to figure out what's best for you. You're trying to figure out, should I do this or should I do that? Okay, you're trying to figure out what's good and bad. Okay. That's your conscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind, remember my other videos, your subconscious mind is very, very impersonal. It doesn't care about you. And it's very, very non-selective. Your subconscious mind is only giving you what you give it. Okay, it's not trying to figure out what's good or bad for you, what's right or wrong. It literally just gives you what you give it. If you give it negative thoughts, it's going to give you negative things in your 3D world. That's how your subconscious mind works. The conscious is the realm of effect, and the subconscious is the realm of cause. These two aspects are the male and female divisions of consciousness. The conscious is the male, the subconscious is female. The conscious generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious, and the subconscious receives these ideas and gives form and expression to them. Okay, now this is what I just explained to you, but Neville Goddard it's not like super confusing, but if you're new to this information, it can be a little bit confusing. Listen, your conscious mind generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious. So your conscious mind is like, oh, I want to live in my dream house. I would like my dream car. What type of dream car do I want? You get me. I want to be a millionaire. I want to make lots of money. I want to be successful. That's all coming from your conscious mind. Now, your subconscious receives the ideas. Listen, your subconscious receives the ideas from your conscious mind. Okay, so your picture it this way. Your conscious mind is formulating these ideas. Then your conscious mind is giving those ideas to your subconscious. Then your subconscious, listen, your subconscious receives these ideas and gives form and expression to them in your visible world, in your 3D world. And it doesn't matter. Okay, listen, whatever you assume to be true for you in your conscious mind sends that to your subconscious. Your subconscious makes it happen in your 3D world. Again, listen, very impersonal. Again, no matter if it's good or bad, no matter if it's going to be good for you or not, no matter if it's going to be a positive impact on your life or a negative impact, your subconscious just delivers. It just makes it happen. By this law, first conceiving an idea and then impressing the idea conceived on the subconscious, all things evolve out of the consciousness, and without this sequence, there is not anything made that is made. The conscious impresses the subconscious, while the subconscious expresses all that is impressed upon it. Okay, now this is really the law of consciousness, is that, remember what we've talked about in the power of awareness, and even other videos, because I got tons of videos on this, is that, I'll reread this because I had a brain fart. Like, what was I going to say? The conscious impresses the subconscious, while the subconscious expresses all that is oppressed on it. Is that everything is coming from your conscious mind, your thinking mind. That's why I call the your conscious mind is your thinking mind. This is what you're thinking about all day long. Okay. Now, most of us, a lot of us struggle with this where our mind goes in a gutter, where we're thinking, we're basically murmuring, complaining all day long. We're going inside our imagination. We're basically making up imaginal scenes, having arguments with people, fights with people, arguing with your boss at work that you don't like. Okay, when you go to do something throughout the day, you basically secretly tell yourself, well, hopefully this works out. Hopefully they make my food right today, because last time I ate here, they butchered all my food. You know what I mean? So basically, everything is coming from your thinking mind, your conscious mind, and whatever you accept to be true in your conscious world, it gives it directly to your subconscious, and your subconscious makes it happen. And that's why lots of times, okay, when you have things happening in your life you don't like, and it seems like it keeps on reoccurring, okay, it's coming from your conscious world. Okay, it's coming from the law of consciousness. Okay, let's continue. The subconscious does not originate ideas, but accepts as true those which the conscious mind feeds to be true, and in a way known only to itself, objectifies the accepted ideas. Okay, now this is what I just said, or just kind of been explaining, but Neville Goddard is kind of digging deeper with it. Your subconscious does not originate ideas. Okay, your conscious mind has all the ideas. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind. Your conscious mind will be over analytical. It will either make decisions or be indecisive. It will try to figure out what's good or bad for you. That's your thinking mind. Okay, that's your conscious mind. Okay, that's why Neville Goddard says your subconscious does not originate ideas. Okay, it doesn't originate thought, but accepts as true those which the conscious mind feels to be true. Okay, what's the law of assumption here? The law of assumption, the basics to the law of assumption is whatever you assume to be true for you has to come into your 3D world, has to come into your visible world. Okay, but that's coming from your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is making it happen because it's whatever you assume to be true for you across your entire life, your deep-rooted beliefs. Okay, what you murmur and complain about all day long, the secret you, what you secretly think, okay, not tell people. That's what's coming. That's what's coming into your life, and your subconscious mind is gearing it. Therefore, through his power to imagine and feel and his freedom to choose the idea, he will entertain. Man has control over creation. Control of the subconscious is accomplished through the control of your ideas and feelings. Okay. So basically all Neville is saying here is that we have control. Okay, the only control, now I'm talking Neville Goddard standpoint here, and we've learned this in the power of awareness, is there is no such thing as free will. The only control you have is assuming a new ideal for your life. Okay, that's the only control you have, because what Neville is explaining, the reason why you have free will to assume a new assumption for you. But once you believe it to be true, there is no free will, because once you believe something to be true for you, your subconscious is going to make it happen for you, no matter if you like it or not. And it's going to make it happen for you even if you don't want it no more. Okay. Now, this is really a hard concept. Sometimes you have to sit back and chew on this concept. You have to let it sink in for a while. But the more work you do, okay, in manifesting the law of consciousness, Neville Goddard, Thomas Trower, Joseph Murphy, the more you dig deep in this work, you're going to come to find that it's really true. So let's move on here. The mechanism of creation is hidden in the very depth of the subconscious, the female aspect or womb of creation. The subconscious transcends reason and is independently of induction. It contemplates a feeling as a fact existing within itself, and this assumption precedes to give expression to it. The creative process begins with an idea, and its cycle runs its course as a feeling and ends in a volition to act. Now, Neville Goddard kind of explained this a little bit confusing, is what he's kind of saying is your subconscious responds to emotion and feeling. This is why Neville Goddard said, feeling the wish fulfilled. Produce a feeling state. Okay, go in your imagination and bring all five senses with it and produce that feeling state. Because it's that feeling state, the emotion of you really doing that imaginal scene. Like you're really living in your dream house. You're really driving your dream car inside your imagination. Once you produce that feeling state, that communicates to your subconscious mind as true. You're really doing it. You really have it. Then it has to come into your visible world. That's what Neville Goddard is kind of saying here. Ideas are impressed on the subconscious through the medium of feeling. That's why he's saying that feeling is a wish fulfilled. Okay, feeling and emotion. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. Okay. No, and that's what he's saying. The subconscious mind is very, very impersonal. Okay. The only way the conscious mind communicates to the subconscious is through the feeling state, through emotion. So that's what Neville Goddard is saying. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. But once, listen, this is the meat and potatoes here. But once felt, be it good, bad, or indifferent, it must be expressed. Now Neville Goddard is basically catching up to what I was explaining. Okay. And I'll read that one more time because this is really the meat and potatoes for you to understand the subconscious mind and your subconscious mind. Listen, no idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. Okay, feeling the wish fulfilled, felt with emotion. But once felt, be it good, bad, ugly, indifferent, it must be expressed. Listen, it must be expressed. There's no if, and, or but about it. There's no, well, maybe it will come, maybe it won't. No, it must be expressed, no matter if you want it or not. Feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious mind. Now, Neville Goddard said feelings. This is where he's kind of coining the phrase feeling is a secret. But whatever we feel, whatever we bring emotion to, whatever we really just deep down feel that is true for us, what we truly believe, okay, that produces a feeling state in us. And that's what's directly communicating to the subconscious mind. That's really what is heading our life, what we're really experiencing in our 3D world. Listen, therefore, the man who does not control his feeling may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. Okay, this is kind of what most of us would end up doing. Okay, this is exactly what people are doing. When things are happening in your 3D world, okay, this is exactly what's happening. Okay, now, some of you might not want to believe it. Some of you might sit there and say, you know what, I don't believe this stuff. But remember, okay, nobody's right. In essence, in a law of consciousness, nobody's right or wrong. Everybody's right. Okay, how can I say this? Well, Chad, I don't believe you. People are wrong. Okay, but in the law of consciousness, nobody is wrong because everybody is right, because whatever you believe to be true for you has to be shown into your reality. Whatever I believe to be true for me has to be shown in my reality. So in a law of consciousness speaking, when we're talking about consciousness, everybody is right. You are right. Okay. Even if you don't believe this, you are right because your thoughts, since you're right, that will be proven to you in your visible world. Okay. What I believe is right and true will be proven to me as well. So in the law of consciousness, everybody is right. Nobody is wrong, baby. Okay. Do you understand that? Okay, so let's kind of continue here. Therefore, the man who does not control his feeling may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. That means you're experiencing things that you don't like in your 3D world. Because most of us, we just go with the flow of life. Our mind drifts all over the place. We think about all types of things, you know what I mean? And most of the time, now these are stats. I can give you stats right here really fast. Now I don't know. Now these are stats. I forget what college it comes from. Um, but don't ask me how they know this. I mean, we have anywhere between 65 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And out of these thoughts, 70% is negative. Out of 65,000 thoughts that we have per day, 70% of these thoughts are negative. Okay, so basically, to keep it practical, 70% of the time we're thinking negative. And we wonder why negative things are happening in our world. Okay. And it gets worse than that. Okay. Out of 70% of our thoughts are negative, 95% of these thoughts are on loop, meaning that we're thinking the same thoughts over and over and over again. Okay. Listen to that. Okay. This is what Neville Goddard is saying. Once you put something on loop, what happens is you tend to believe it. And once you believe something, it has to come into your reality. It has to be shown to you. It has to come into your 3D world. Okay. That's how you kind of dissect this. So now let's move on. Let me take a sip of my collagen. It's cold. I love this cold. I don't like to drink it warm. Okay, let's finish up this paragraph. Therefore, the man who does not control his feeling may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. By control of feeling is not meant restraint or suppression of your feeling, but rather than disciplining yourself to imagine and entertain only such feeling as contributes to happiness. Hey friends, just a quick little intermission here. We'll jump right back to the video. But if you're really trying to figure this stuff out, if you're really trying to live life on your terms, you really need to check out the description, because in the description is where I keep all the nuggets and all the resources. If you're new here, start right here. We got stuff like the power drops, which is totally free, by the way. We got the 30-day challenge. And of course, if you want to be part of the tribe, the link is here. And if you want to try to work with me, the link is right here as well. Like I said, my friends, if you really want to try to make this stuff happen, if you really want to live life on your terms, always keep up to date with the description, because that's where all the nuggets are. Other than that, let's get back to the video. So the second half of this paragraph right here, I'll reread it one more time so you can kind of get it. Listen, by control of your feeling, your emotional states, controlling your feeling state, controlling your thoughts, basically that's what Neville's talking about, is your thought life, is not meant restraint or suppression of your feelings. Neville isn't saying that suppress your feelings, suppress your emotions, don't release anything, don't talk about things that bother you. Okay, he's not really saying that. But what he's saying is, rather than disciplining of self to imagine and entertain, listen, to imagine, go into your imagination and entertain only such feelings that contribute to happiness, love, what you want to do, what you like, what you want to do with your life, where you want to live. Those you need to kind of focus on that and stop focusing on what's wrong with your life. Basically what Neville Goddard is saying. Listen, control of your feeling is all important to a full and happy life. Never entertain an undesirable feeling, nor think sympathetically about wrong in any shape or form. Do not dwell on the imperfection of yourself or others. Listen to this. He's going to go deep in this. I mean, I love this. Do not dwell on the imperfection of yourself or others. Okay, that means listen to this. We might not focus. We might have a really healthy self-image on ourselves. We might be really confident with ourselves, but do you put other people down? You know what I mean? And this is really, I mean, people have done it my entire life, okay? But it seems like even more pronounced now, especially on social media, is everybody, people come out of the woodwork just to put you down, okay, to make fun of you. Maybe they're jealous of you or whatnot. You know what I mean? So this is a double-edged sword, okay? So that's what Neville Goddard is saying. Do not dwell on the imperfection of yourself and others, okay? Stop putting other people down. Bottom line, if you have a habit of doing that, stop it right now. To do so is to impress the subconscious with these limitations. You have to understand, listen, this is a key here. This is what Neville Goddard is saying. Neville Goddard is saying, when you're doing any of these, listen, I'll reread this up to the green. Never entertain an undesirable feeling, nor think sympathetically about wrong in any shape or form. Do not dwell on your imperfection of yourself or others. Stop making fun of flipping people. Okay, stop it right now. Stop talking about people. Stop coming home from work. Then you're talking to your significant other about the people you hate at work. Then you go to work and then you talk about your significant other. Okay, stop doing that stuff. You want to know why your life is in shambles? Because I'm pointing it out right. If you're doing this, this is what you need to fix. Okay, then Neville Goddard says, to do so is to impress the subconscious with these limitations. What you do not want done unto you, do not feel that it is done unto you or another person. This is the whole law of a full and happy life. Everything else is commentary. Okay, this paragraph right here is filled with how to have a happy life. This is a meat and potato paragraph right here. Okay, I'm going to reread this one more time, then we'll move on for you. I know you guys might hate me when I do this stuff, but I really want you to walk away with this because listen to this. The fact that you're watching this video, you're trying to figure this stuff out. Okay. But when you're trying to figure this stuff out, you got to figure out what you're doing. That's the secret here. We're all doing something that holds us back, okay? If you're not living your dream life, you're not calling the shots in your life, you're not living a life in your terms, you're not having anything you want to do, okay? There's something missing in your life, okay? You don't understand this material as much as you think you do, okay? So you got to listen up. You got to take the earplugs out of your ears and you got to listen, okay? So let me reread this really fast. Never entertain an undesirable feeling nor think sympathetically about wrong in any shape or form. Do not dwell on the imperfection of yourself or others. To do so is to impress this subconscious mind with these limitations. What you do not want done unto you, do not feel that it is done unto you or another person. This is the whole law of a full and happy life. Everything else is commentary. Every feeling makes a subconscious impression, and unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of an opposite nature, must be expressed. Listen to that. This is so powerful. Neville Goddard is saying every feeling, every emotion, every deep, true belief that you have makes a subconscious impression. And unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of an opposite nature, must be expressed. Okay, it must. Okay, there's no maybe. Maybe it must be expressed into your visible world. The dominant of two feelings is the one expressed. That's how it works. Okay, you might be asking yourself, well, what if I'm thinking this and thinking that? Okay, what's happening? Okay, and this is where most of us are at, okay? Especially if we are trying to manifest something into our life. We want our dream house, but why isn't our dream house coming to us? Because there's two feelings playing tug and war between each other. So what's really happening is, listen, the dominant of two feelings is the one expressed. I am healthy is a stronger feeling than I will be healthy. To feel I will be is to confess I am not. I am is stronger than I am not. What you feel, you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. I'll reread that one more time. It sounded like a riddle when I read this. Okay, I'm right here. What you feel, you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. Therefore, to be realized, the wish must be felt as a state that is rather than a state that is not. You understand that? So he spoke in a riddle here. So remember this, he's kind of talking about it like, when you go inside your imagination, you make it real as possible. You bring all your five senses inside your imagination. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. You're actually doing what you want inside your imagination. If you want your dream house, you go inside your imagination and you have your dream house right now. You're living in your dream house right now, and you're creating this imaginal scene, and you're actually living in your dream house. You're actually doing stuff in your imagination. It's not a wish. You're not just thinking, oh, that would be great. You're not, sometimes when we're new to this, when we think about something, we go inside our imagination, and it's like I'm a ghost inside my imagination. It's like I'm looking down at myself inside my imagination. That's not going to produce a feeling state. Okay, that's not me really doing it. What Neville is saying is, when you notice that you're not actually doing it inside your imagination, you got to really be the person doing it inside your imagination. That's why Neville said to kind of put your imagination on steroids a little bit, to kind of do a 10x or 100x, you got to bring your five senses into it, meaning you're actually doing it. Like if I want my dream house and I create an imaginal scene, I'm actually walking around my dream house. If I'm walking around my dream house, maybe I'm walking barefoot so I can feel the tile I'm walking on. Maybe I'm walking and I'm holding my coffee. When I'm holding it, I can feel my coffee. I can feel if it's hot. I can smell it. Okay, because I drink espresso. I drink black coffee, so I can, you can smell it. You can smell the fumes. Okay, maybe you have a swimming pool in your dream house, and you're walking around the swimming pool, and the tile is wet and it's a little bit cold and damp, but you can feel it with your feet. That's what he means, bringing in your five senses. You can really feel stuff. Okay, you're really doing it. Same thing with your dream car. You're really driving your dream car. Okay. Okay, let's move on here. Sensation precedes manifestation and is the foundation. I'll reread that one more time. Sensation precedes manifestation and is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. Be careful of your moods and feelings. This is what Neville is saying. Be very careful of your moods and feelings, for there is an unbroken connection between your feelings and your visible world. Your body is an emotional filter and bears the unmistakable marks of your prevalent emotions. Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the causes of all disease. Listen to this. Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the causes of all disease. To feel intensely about a wrong without voicing or expressing that feeling is the beginning of disease. Dis-ease in both body and environment. Do not entertain the feeling of regret or failure for frustration or detachment from your objective results in disease. Okay, now he's going deep here, but I think you can understand what's going on. But one of the things that kind of stood out for me reading this, and I kind of been thinking about actually the last couple of days, is, let me reread this right here. I'll reread this right here. Do not entertain the feeling of regret or failure for frustration or detachment. Okay, I was thinking about this. I think I was thinking about this last night. And like in the Bible, it says, let the dead bury the dead. Okay, kind of one of the things we do is we constantly entertain things that we regret, maybe bad things that happened to us in the past, or we perceive as bad, or it was frustrating. Maybe it wasn't horrible, but it was frustrating. Maybe we have an experience where in the past, we got out, we looked all nazzy and dazzy. We're getting ready for work, and we went out and and we were walking out to our car, and we had a flipping flat tire. Okay, we couldn't go to work that day. We called work to call off, but we got fired. But they fired us because maybe we took off too many days. Now we really had a flat tire. So on the same day that we got a flat tire, I called off, so I had a flat tire. I was had to fix it. Then when I returned to work the next day, they fired me for it. You understand? Then the whole point is then we keep on replaying that scene weeks later, months later, years later. We keep telling the same story, okay? Or when something bad happens to us, we go to work and tell our coworkers. We come home and tell our significant other. Then we have a family gathering. We tell it at the family gathering. And every once in a while, we keep on bringing it up like an old story. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm guilty of this, guys. Okay. The thing is that We all have things negative happen to us. We all have things happen to us that we don't like. Okay, deal with it and move on and never think about it again. Bottom line, that's what even myself right now I'm working on. Is anything happens to you, stop flipping talking about it. Okay, yes, we got to deal with it. Deal with it, move on from it, and never bring it up again. Okay, that's what Neville Goddard is saying. Do not, excuse me, do not entertain the feeling of regret of any form or failure for frustration or detachment from your objective results in disease. Now he's talking from a disease healthy standpoint, but I'm kind of putting a different spin on it, but because that's just kind of where my thoughts are at the time, right now. Okay, let's move on. Think feelingly only the state you desire to realize. Listen, this is what we need to really be working on. Think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize. Think happy thoughts. Think only what you want to happen, only your goals, only what you want, only what you like to do. Okay, that's what you only should think about. If we only do this, like think about it this way. I was listening to, this was a while back, maybe like a year ago, year and a half ago, something like that. I was listening from I think it was a podcast. They were interviewing Rhonda Burns. Now, Rhonda Burns she made a movie, The Secret. And I forget what year it came out, but it was crazy, crazy popular. And it's still popular today, but it was way more popular back in the day. And they asked her, about law of attraction. What's the simple form of law of attraction? How does it work? And give me this simple thing, give me the simple, don't give me a great big thesis. Okay. And this is what she said. Okay. I'm paraphrasing what she said. She said, this is how simple law of attraction is that if you would only think about what you want to do all day long, stay focused on what you want to do, what you want to like, think about what you like, only focus on what you like, everything will come into your world that you like. It's that simple. If you would only do that, just focus your thoughts on only doing what you like. Okay. Period. Okay. You will be living your dream house. You'll be living your dream life right now today. That's how simple it is. Okay. Now let's get back to this book. Think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize. Feeling the reality of the state sought and living and acting on that conviction is a way of all seeming miracles. Now, Neville is really talking about living in the end. Okay, you act as if. He's combining both of them. Listen, let me change colors here so it's not all green. Okay, listen, feeling the reality of the state sought and living and acting on that conviction is the way of all seeming miracles. Okay, he's talking about living in the end. Okay, listen, if you want your dream house, you have your dream house right now. You be that person right now, and you carry yourself like you already have your dream house. You're not trying to get your dream house. It's not how you got your dream house. You have it right now today. If you want to be a millionaire, you want money, okay, it's the same thing. You be that person right now. That's the secret. You be that person right now because you are. Once you see imagination, it's within your consciousness. Okay, it's not outside of you. You don't have to go get and go find anything. Everything's within you. Okay, it's in your state of consciousness. So just be the person. You want to be wealthy? You're wealthy right now. So start acting wealthy. Start making wealthy decisions. That's how this stuff works. That's what Neville Goddard is saying. All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. All creation occurs in the domain of the subconscious. What you must acquire then is reflective control of the operation of the subconscious, that is, control of your ideas and feelings. So what Neville Goddard is saying right here, again, he kind of wrote in a riddle. If Neville was alive, it's like when I read this, it's like, but let's read this one more time. And listen, and I'll explain it a little bit. All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling. This is why I said earlier in the video, the only control you have is listen, this is a law of assumption, is whatever you assume to be true for you has to come into your reality. Whatever you assume to be true, okay? Now, we think we have free will, but free will only works like half of the time. We don't 100% have free will in a state of consciousness, okay? Now, our free will is, if you want a better life, your free will, you can change your life. How you change your life? You change your assumptions. Okay, you change your self-concept, you change your self-image. Okay, you that's exactly how you do it. Okay, with the free will. I know I'm sounding confusing right now, but you change your assumptions. We have free will to do that. But listen, okay, the reason why I say free will is we don't have free will once your assumption becomes true and it communicates to the subconscious mind. It's going to happen in your life no matter you want it to or not. Okay. So that's what Neville was saying a little bit. All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling. He means changing your assumptions, what you believe to be true. You change. Okay, mean like you don't have your dream house right now. You want your dream house. Well, you assume that you have your dream house right now. So you change your assumptions, and that changes the outcome of your life. Okay, that's what he's saying. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. All creation occurs in the domain of the subconscious. What you must acquire then is reflective control of the operation of your subconscious. Okay. You basically, once you figure out how the subconscious works, then you can control the subconscious. That's what he's saying. That's the secret. Once you know how it works, you can control the subconscious. Now, where was I? What you must acquire is then a reflective control of the operation of the subconscious. That is control of your ideas and feelings. So how do you control the subconscious then? Is in your conscious mind, you control the ideas and feelings you're giving your subconscious. You understand? That's how you control the subconscious. Okay, if you want to change your 3D world, okay, this is how you bend reality, is you change your thoughts. You change your ideas and feelings, what you're thinking about all day long, and that in turn controls the subconscious. Okay, you change your feelings and ideas, then that communicates to your subconscious, and those ideas and feelings has to come into your 3D world.
Really quick here, friends. Do you want a challenge that's going to make every dream of yours come true?
You see, my friends, the issue is when you start trying to live life on your terms, you're doing everything right. See, that's the problem. That's how you feel. You're trying your hardest, but nothing is changing. Now, in the challenge, there's no fluff, there's no hype. It's just real transformation delivered daily. We are going to the core. We are going to the root cause why things are not working for you. All you got to do is go to the description, click see more. Everything will pop up and you will see the 30-day breakthrough challenge. Click the link and it'll take you right over to that. Chance or accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you, nor is predestined fate the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. Listen, this is so true. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. Okay, this is the simple thing put. Like I said, what you assume to be true for you has to come into your 3D world. Bottom line, the subconscious is not selective. It is impersonal and no respecter of persons. Okay. This is what we kind of went through in the beginning of the chapter. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. Whatever is impressed on your subconscious mind has to happen to you. Okay. The subconscious is not selective. It's not trying to figure out what's true and false. It's not trying to figure out what's positive and negative. It's not trying to figure out what's best for me. Okay. It's not selective. It's not trying to figure it. It's literally just giving me what I give it. Whatever you give your subconscious mind is giving it to you, positive or negative. So that's what it means. It's not selective. It is impersonal. It doesn't care about you. It's just giving you what you give it, and no respecter of persons. Acts chapter 10, verse 34, Romans chapter 2, verse 11. The subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falsity of your feeling. This is, I mean, Neville Goddard kind of basically hits it right on the nail here. Listen, the subconscious mind is not concerned with the truth or if it's false. I've repeated that over and over and over. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. You understand that? Your subconscious always accepts to be true that you feel to be true. Feeling is the ascent of the subconscious to the truth of that which is declared to be true. Because of this quality of the subconscious, there is nothing impossible to man. Now, this is the great news right here. Listen, because of the quality of the subconscious, how the subconscious mind really works, there is nothing impossible to man. You can have, this is mean, you can have your dream life. You can live life in your terms, but you can have anything you want. You just have to know kind of how your subconscious works. And once you understand that, you can control your subconscious mind. Listen, whatever the mind of man can conceive and feel as true, the subconscious can and must objectify. Listen, whatever the mind of man can conceive and feel as true, whatever you can conceive and feel as true in your life, whatever it is you want, your subconscious mind can and it must listen to you. It must objectify. Okay, what does objectify mean? It must come into your visible world. Okay, it must come into your 3D world. It has to. Your feelings create the pattern from which your world is fashioned, and a change of feeling is a change of a pattern. Okay, that's what I mean is if you want to change your life, you 100% can change your life, but how you change your life on the law of consciousness is you change your assumption. You change what you want. The subconscious never fails to express that which has been impressed upon it. The moment it conceives an impression, it begins to work out the ways of its expression. It accepts the feeling impressed upon it, your feeling, as a fact existing within itself, and immediately sets about to produce in the outer or objective world the exact likeness of that feeling. The subconscious never alters the accepted beliefs of man. It outpictures them to the last detail, whether or not they are beneficial. Okay, now he's giving kind of a twofold here. One, he's saying whether or not if it's beneficial, meaning like no matter if it's good or bad for you or not, it's giving it to you to your 3D world. But one of the things is Neville says kind of cool here in the beginning is the subconscious never alters. Listen, the subconscious never alters the accepted belief of man. Okay, whatever you believe to be true for you, it has to come into your 3D world, but it has to come into your 3D world exactly how you imagined it, exactly how you believe it to be true. It's not altering it. Okay, now this reminds me, I know this video is long, but this reminds me of a story Neville Goddard tells about, and he was at the time, he was being mentored by Abdullah. And this is when Neville Goddard tells a famous story that he lived in New York. It was during the Great Depression. Neville Goddard had no money. He was broke. He was a dancer at the time. So during the Great Depression, nobody wanted to hire a dancer. So he had no money coming in, but he wanted to travel home during Christmas to Barbados. And he hasn't been home for a long time, but he had no money to get there. And long story short, I want to tell the whole story, but long story short, everything, he was being mentored by Abdullah. Abdullah told him two things is that, or the two things at least Neville shared is that when you walk the streets of New York, pretend as if you're walking the streets in Barbados. Okay. When you go to bed at night in your bed in New York, pretend, act as if you're laying your bed in Barbados. Okay. But anyway, long story short, he's going to travel home by ship to Barbados, from New York to Barbados. And his intention is coming true. But when he went to the ship to kind of get details, in his imagination, the whole time in his imagination, he traveled home to Barbados. But inside his imagination, he traveled home by ship first class. Because remember, during the Great Depression, There was first class, second class, and third class. Okay, the classism was really, really huge back then. Uh, and that's one thing to kind of keep in mind. So when he went and got his details, the ship told him, well, Neville, we can take you, okay, but you can't travel first class. You got to travel third class. But at that point, that didn't break Neville. Basically, Neville was super excited because he's like, my intention came true. I'm traveling back to Barbados, Barbados, and Abdullah is going to be so excited. So he couldn't wait to basically get back home or wherever. I think he lived close to Abdullah. I'm not too sure, but he couldn't wait to tell Abdullah the good news. And when he went back to Abdullah and told Abdullah the exact story I told you, exactly what happened. Hey, Abdullah, I'm going home. I'm going to get there. I'm going home during Christmas. But the only thing is that I got to, instead of going first class, I got to go third class. But instead of Abdullah being excited for Neville, Abdullah was really pissed. He got pissed off. And Abdullah said, no, Neville. You already been to Barbados. You already went there. You already traveled there, and you went there first class. And Neville said, he turned around, walked back in his room, and slammed the door in his face. And Neville said that was just Abdullah. But listen, this goes along with this concept. Listen what Neville Goddard says. The subconscious never alters the accepted belief. It gives you the exact imaginal scene. Okay. So in the law of consciousness, what Abdullah was explaining, and in Neville's imagination, it already occurred. Neville already went home to Barbados and he went home first class. So that has to happen. That has to occur. Okay, that's why Abdullah got mad and upset with Neville. It's like, no, you already went to Barbados. You already were there and you went first class. You didn't go third class. You went first class. So he was basically training Neville to hold to his intention. Don't waver. And that's why Neville brings it up here. The subconscious never alters the accepted belief. It never changes it. It doesn't alter it. It doesn't alter it a little bit. To impress the subconscious with the desirable state, you must assume the feeling that would be yours had you already realized your wish. In defining your objective, you must be concerned only with the objective itself. The manner of the expression or the difficulties involved are not to be considered by you. All Neville is saying here is the manner of expression or difficulties involved are not to be considered by you, meaning stop looking for the how, stop trying to figure it out. Your job is living the end. Your job is just focus on what you want. That's it. You want your dream house? Your job, this is how simple it is. Your job is you just stay in the feeling, the wish fulfilled of your dream house. You just pretend you already have your dream house. That's it. That's your job. Your job isn't trying to figure it out. Okay, your job isn't trying to force it to happen. Your job isn't looking for the how. That's not your job. Our job is very easy, but we're the ones that stand in our way. We're the ones that make this stuff difficult. So the manner of expression or difficulties involved are not to be considered by you. To think feelingly on any state impresses it on your subconscious. Therefore, if you dwell on difficulties, barriers, or delay, the subconscious, by its very non-selective nature, accepts the feeling of the difficulties and obstacles as your request and proceeds to produce them in your outer world. Wow, this was really deep. And just last part of this paragraph right here. I'll read it one more time because I thought it was so powerful. Listen, to think feelingly on any state impresses it on the subconscious. Therefore, listen, if you dwell on the difficulties, barriers, or delay, listen, if you dwell on it's not working, how can I figure this out? It's not coming fast enough. This is what Neville Goddard is saying. Okay, if you're in this mental state, what's happening is the subconscious, by its very non-selective nature, remember, the subconscious is very impersonal. and you're giving it thoughts of it's not working. It's not coming fast enough. Where is it? How can I figure this out? That's the feeling you're giving it, your subconscious. So your subconscious is very non-selective in nature, accepts the feeling of the difficulties you're giving it and obstacles as your request and proceeds to produce them in your visible world. The subconscious is the womb of creation. It conceives the idea unto itself through the feelings of man. It never changes the idea conceived, but always gives it form. Hence, the subconscious outpictures the idea in the image and likeness of the feeling conceived. To feel a state of hopeless or impossible is to impress the subconscious with the idea of failure. Although the subconscious faithfully serves man, it must not be inferred that the relation is that of a servant to a master, as was anciently conceived. The ancient prophets called it the slave and servant of man. St. Paul's personified it as a woman and said the woman should be subject to man in everything. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 24. Also 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 34. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22. Colossians chapter 3 verse 18. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1. The subconscious does not serve man and faithfully gives form to his feelings. However, the subconscious has a distinct distaste for compulsion and responds to persuasion rather than to a command. Consequently, it resembles the beloved wife more than the servant. The husband is the head of the wife. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 23 may not be true of man and woman in their earthly relationship, but it is true of the conscious and the subconscious. Okay, this is what Neville Goddard is this is more of an esoteric view of these verses when they doing husband, wife. Like one is the conscious mind, one is a subconscious mind. Okay, this is kind of the esoteric view of these verses. That's why Neville Goddard is throwing out these verses. So listen, the husband is head of the wife. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 23 may not be true of man and woman in their earthly relationship, but it is true of the conscious and the subconscious mind, or the male and female aspects of the consciousness. The mystery to which Paul referred when he wrote, "This is the great mystery," chapter 5 verse 32, "He that loves his wife loves himself," chapter 5 verse 28, "and they two shall be one flesh," chapter 5 verse 31, is simply the mystery of consciousness. Consciousness is really one and undivided, but the creation's sake, it appears to be divided into two. The conscious, objective, or male aspect is truly the head and dominates the subconscious, subjective, or female aspect. Now, what Neville is doing, he's really tying together these verses that we just read through in the last page. Okay, you're trying to figure out where's Neville going with all these verses. Okay, so basically what he's saying, your conscious mind, the objective mind, is your thinking mind. Okay, this is what you can see with your five senses: see, hear, smell, taste, touch. This is what you can see in your visible world. It's all coming from your conscious mind. Okay, or the male aspect is truly the head. Okay, the head of the house. The head of the house is your conscious mind, your objective mind. And listen, and dominates the subconscious. Your conscious mind dominates the subconscious or your subjective mind. Okay, those two words mean the same thing. The subconscious mind, when you hear kind of someone use subjective, they're meaning the subconscious mind or the female aspect. Okay, your conscious mind is really in control of your subconscious because it's your conscious mind. Whatever you assume to be true for you in your conscious mind, your subconscious mind has to listen to it and bring it into fruition, bring it into your visible world. Okay, that's what Neville Goddard is saying. But he's kind of tying in the verses from the Bible, from the New Testament, Old Testament, and stuff like that. However, this leadership is not that of a tyrant, but of a lover. So by assuming the feeling that that would be yours, were you already in possession of your objective, the subconscious is moved to build the exact likeness of your assumption. Listen to this. This is so powerful right here. And I know Neville is kind of saying the same thing over and over and over. He's digging deeper and deeper and deeper so you can really figure this stuff out. But listen, by assuming the feeling that would be yours, whatever you assume to be true for you, you want your dream house? Listen to this. This is exactly how you get your dream house. Assuming the feeling that would be yours, were you already in possession of your objective? Okay, your dream house. You're already in possession of it. You already have it right now today. The subconscious is moved to build the exact likeness of your assumption. Your desires are not subconsciously accepted until you assume the feeling of their reality. For only through feeling is an idea subconsciously accepted, and only through this subconscious acceptance is it ever expressed. Meaning, only thing he's meaning here is that until your subconscious mind accepts it to be true, only when it accepts it to be true is when it's going to come to you. It is easier to ascribe your feeling in events in the world than to admit that the conditions of the world reflect your feelings. However, it is eternally true that the outside mirrors the inside. This is the mirror effect right here. Okay, your inside world, your secret you, your secret beliefs, your secret thoughts is just a mirror. It's just a self-reflection, what's happening in your visible world. Everything's coming from within out. That's the mirror principle, the mirror effect. As within, so without. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. As without, so within. Correspondence. This is the law of correspondence right here. The second of the 7 principles of the Hermes, and I don't know how to pronounce that giant word right there, which I actually did a video on the law of correspondence. You can look it up on my channel. That was pretty good. We kind of dissected the law of correspondence. A man can conceive nothing unless it is given him from heaven. John chapter 3, verse 27. And the kingdom of heaven is within you. Luke chapter 17, verse 21. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within, from the subconscious. Okay, this is why I said, I believe I said it earlier, that with the law of consciousness, everything you want in your world, everything you want to happen, all the answers you really seek, all comes within you. Nothing comes outside of you. So you should seek from nothing outside of you. Everything comes within you. It is impossible for you to see other than the contents of your consciousness. Your world in its every detail is your consciousness objectified. Listen, I reread it one more time. Your world, your visible world right now, what you're going through right now, in its every detail is your consciousness objectified. Meaning what you assume to be true for you, you're experiencing right now in life. That's what it means. Good or bad, no matter if you like it or not. Okay. If you have things going on right now that you don't like, and it seems like you always have similar things going on that you don't like, okay, it means it's coming within you. You're thinking that. Okay. You've assumed that to be true for you, and it keeps on reoccurring. Okay. If you want different results in your life, choose a new assumption for you. Listen, objective states bear witness of subconscious impressions. A change of impression results in a change of expression. This is what I just told you. A change of impression results in a change of expression, meaning you change what you assume, and that's going to change what's coming into your outer world, your visible world, your 3D world. The subconscious accepts as true that which you feel as true, because creation is a result of subconscious impressions. You, by your feeling, you are already that which you want to be. I'm going to highlight this because I want you to walk away with this. You, right now, this is a state of being. You are already that which you want to be right now. If you want your dream house, that's what I told you. Be that person right now. That's the secret. That's how you bend reality. That's how you speed everything up. Is you already have it right now. Anything you want, you already have right now. Bottom line, be that person right now. You already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. This is so true. This is crazy true. I read it one more time. That speaks so loud to me, even though it's kind of rough to read. You are already that which you want to be right now. And the reverse is true too. Your refusal to believe, listen, your refusal to believe you can have your dream house is the only reason it's not coming to you. Your refusal to believe you can have your dream car is the only reason you don't have it. Your refusal to believe you can be a millionaire is the only reason you don't have it. Your refusal to believe you can live your dream life is the only reason it's not coming to you. Your refusal to believe that you're not living life in your terms is the only reason you're not living life in your terms. Okay, your refusal to believe that you can have your dream job, your dream career is the only reason, listen, the only reason you don't have it is your refusal to believe it. To seek on the outside for that which you do not feel is to seek in vain. For we never find that which we want. We find only that which we are. Okay, now Neville's saying it kind of differently. Always saying with a state of consciousness, the law of consciousness, everything is within you. Everything you seek is within you because heaven is within you. Source is inside you. So if source is inside you, everything is in your state of consciousness. If you can see it in your imagination, that's within your consciousness, meaning that you don't have to go outside yourself to figure out how to get it. Okay, if you want your dream house, you know how you get it? You go inside your imagination and you see yourself having your dream house. That's the only thing you need to do is believe you have it. You don't need to do anything else, and it will eventually come to you. In short, you express and have only that which you are conscious of being and possessing. To him that has, it is given. Matthew chapter 13, verse 12, chapter 25, verse 29, Mark chapter 4, verse 25, Luke chapter 8, verse 18, and chapter 19, verse 26. All say the same thing throughout the New Testament. Listen, in short, you express and only have that which you are conscious of being or possessing. To him, this is the verse, to him that has, it is given. And he quoted all these verses right here that as many times it's stated throughout the Bible. Listen, denying the evidence of your senses and appropriating the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the way to realization of your desire. What does Neville mean by that? Denying evidence of your senses. When Neville says denying evidence of your senses is denying what's going on in your visible world, denying what's going on in your 3D world. What are your senses? He's talking about your 5 senses: see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Okay. And he's talking about your 3D world. You're really just sight. You seeing what's going on. You deny what's going on. Okay. You deny it from your senses. That's why he's saying deny the evidence of your senses, and appropriating the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the way to the realization of your desire. Mastery of self-control of your thoughts and feelings is the highest achievement. This is so true. All the greats, all the old school said this, if I can highlight it. And even Napoleon Hill talks about this over and over in Think and Grow Rich. The hardest thing you can achieve in your life, the hardest thing that you're going to go after is mastering of self-control of your thoughts and feelings is the highest achievement in life. However, until perfect self-control is attained, so that in spite of appearances, you feel all that you want to feel, use sleep and prayer to aid you in realizing your desired states. These are the 2 gateways into the subconscious. Okay, now Neville is setting this up to actually go into chapter 2, because chapter 2 is going to basically explain this paragraph right here. So I won't really go into great detail of this, but this is chapter 1 is wrapped up here. But I'll repeat it one more time, but this is going to lead into chapter 2. However, until perfect self-control is attained, so that in spite of appearances, You feel all that you want to feel. You sleep in prayer to aid you in realizing your desired states. So those are the two things: sleep and prayer. Go inside your imagination. Okay, it's what you're thinking about. It's literally what you're thinking about 5 minutes before you go to sleep, baby. Okay. These are the two gateways into your subconscious mind. This is how you influence the subconscious mind. But other than that, tribe, YouTube fam, this was a long one. This was a little bit over an hour here. We just finished wrapping up chapter 1, Law of its Operation. Now stick around, and then not this video, but the next video, we're going to continue on with chapter 2. But anyway, since this is a long one, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Leave your comments below, how you understand this information, how you're dissecting it. If you have great questions on this, I always try to answer every comment. But other than that, remember, I love you guys, and I'll see you in chapter 2.